Sometimes such interludes happen in life. It's like a nightmare. All you want to do is wake up. Sometimes you wake up and the nightmare turns out to be reality. Dexter, I need to talk to you about something. I looked at my wife of 12 years. The wind ruffled a strand of her hair, pulling it out of her open T-top, this T-shaped car roof, with removable top panels, and the rest developed in waves. She was beautiful to the core, to the point of losing her pulse. There was so much fire in her hair, it moved around her face in waves of heat, most of it falling onto the pale green sundress that fit her perfectly. They framed a face that women would die for and men would fight for. Her skin was creamy white, and a few freckles dotted her nose. Others appeared later, when she was in the sun, longer, and disappeared after a few hours before disappearing completely, unless she was under ultraviolet light. Her huge brown eyes were clouded with worry, and her red lips were pursed. "Can this wait 5 minutes?" I asked. "It's difficult to have a conversation because of the wind and the noise of the exhaust gases." She nodded. "We have a 1978 Trans Am that we like to cruise in, and the exhaust is quite loud, especially with the tops down. I think I know what will happen next, what she wants to talk to me about, and in fact, it didn't interest me much. I guess I should have done it, so I just gritted my teeth. We arrived at the hut. We bought a place on the lake 2 years ago and spent weekends there. Kia and Mia, our 8-year-old twins, were spending the weekend with my parents, and it was a chance to be alone. I thought we needed this. We got out of the car, carried out the groceries and our bags, then carried them inside and set them down. I opened 2 bottles of beer and walked out onto the back porch. It is screened and runs along the entire back of the house. There's a big hammock there, and I stretched out on it, just relaxing and listening to the boats on the lake. A minute later, Kathleen came out, took her beer, and pressed herself next to me. I stroked her hair, and she purred, pressing her cheek to my chest. These incredibly huge eyes looked at me. "Dex, Derek Harper is back in town," she said. "He works in the sales department in my company." "Yes, I know," I said. Her eyes flickered to my face. "Is it true? You didn't say anything." "What did you want me to say?" I asked. "Don't know." She was still a little shocked that I knew. "Stay away from him? I expected that if you knew, you would say something. Your ex-fiancé shows up after 12 years and you expect me to say something," I thought. "Okay, stay away from him, Kat." "Are you upset?" she asked. "Do I have a reason to be upset?" "I had lunch with him," she said. "I know." She tensed again. "You knew and didn't say anything?" "What's the point of this?" I asked her. "You knew I wouldn't like it?" "You don't belong to me, Kat. You can have lunch with whoever you want." I don't think that was the answer she was looking for. "What do you mean?" Now she was excited. "He asked me to meet him at the Rhino on Friday after work." "Yes, I know," I said. "What the hell is wrong with you, Dex?" She was visibly upset. Her amazing breasts began to rise and fall rapidly. "How do you know all this?" "In the restaurant behind you, Penny was sitting in the next booth," I said. "Penny is my personal assistant." Now a blush spread across Kathleen's face. "What did she tell you?" "Do you think she lied?" I asked. "No, I don't think she would do that." She calmed down a little. "You didn't tell him no as firmly as I would have liked," I said. "Are you going to go next time he asks, Kathleen?" "No, of course not," she said. I placed my fingers under her sharp little chin and tilted her head to look into her eyes. "Kat, don't lie to me," I said. "We never lied to each other about important things." She looked away and then returned her eyes to mine. "I don't think so, Dex. I'm tempted. I need you to help me. Fight for me, Dex." "I'll help you," I said. "I won't fight for you, Kat. I'm not going to compete with anyone for your affection. I think you might like this drama, but you won't. We're married, so the rivalry is over. Struggle? It's on your conscience. It's you who needs to fight. Look at me, Kat. Look what you have. Think about what you have at home. Think about who is waiting for you at Mom and Dad's house. That's what you're fighting for." She snorted, and I saw tears rolling down her cheeks. "That's what makes it so difficult," she said. I know what I have, and I know I shouldn't give in to temptation. But you're tempting yourself? I said. Yes, I know I shouldn't. I love you, Dex. I love our life. I love my children and everything connected with my life. You are an amazing lover and the most romantic man I have ever met. You are an attentive, kind, caring, wonderful husband. All I ever wanted was you. So tell me why, Kat. I don't know, she whispered. I was just thinking about what my life would be like if I married him. You were engaged to him and found him in bed with the girl who was supposed to be your bridesmaid, I reminded her. That's what you told me. He's a player, Kat. You would most likely get divorced, go through a lot of pain, and become an emotional wreck. What is it about him that attracts you? We never had sex, she said. You know that I was a virgin when we met. I gave this to you. I wonder what would have happened if I had slept with him. I wonder what that would be like. Do you understand what I am talking about? Well, yes, I kind of know, I said. I wonder what it would be like to have sex with Jennifer Thomas. With this slut? Kathleen was indignant. Why are you looking at her? Yes, I said. You clearly don't really like sluts who have sex, Kat. I think so, don't you? She said. Well, he's trying to seduce you and probably wants to sleep with you, I said. He knows that you are married. He knows you have 2 little girls. He knows you have a husband. Yes, I think that makes him a traitor. What does it say about you, Kathleen, that you don't seem to care? I care, she protested. What do you want to say, Dexter? I'm saying that I don't think I know my wife very well, I told her. I thought you loved me. I'd put my dollar on it. Thought you had some integrity. I was sure of it. I thought that you would never, ever risk hurting me, your girls, your parents, my parents, and our family. And now I find out that everything I was so sure of has gone to waste. And now I have to fight for you? Who are you, Kat? Now she started crying for real. She cried her eyes out, and I just hugged her and let her cry. She looked at me with red, swollen eyes. What do we do? She croaked. I don't know what you're going to do, I said. I'm not sure there is a we. I know what I'm going to do. What? She asked. I'm going to protect myself, I said. I'm going to protect the girls and our family. What do you mean? Her voice was now trembling with fear. I mean, in case you decide to meet this asshole for dinner or drinks, I have things to do, I said. I have everything ready. Are you threatening me? She asked, tensing in my arms. Not at all, I said. I'm making a statement of intent. You made your first mistake when you didn't tell me he was back in town. Another mistake you made was when you talked to him for the first time and didn't tell me about it. The third was when you met him for lunch and hid it from me. Now you have a little credit for telling me about this. I don't trust you anymore, Kat. How can I stay married to you? Tell me. Are you going to divorce me? She gasped. How do you think this will work, Dexter? I did not do anything bad. No, you did, I said. You are in the process of destroying my ability to trust you. Do you think that everything will work out for you in a divorce? She asked. Probably not, I said. I know the justice system acts as if it's fine to betray everyone who loves you, but somehow I don't think you'll get any satisfaction from it. If you don't wake up, you'll be just another cheating wife for the rest of your life. Everyone you respect and care about will know this. I think you're a good person, Kat, and I don't think you can live with yourself. Every time you look in the mirror, every time you look into the eyes of girls, your parents, or your sister, you will see a reflection of who you are and what they think of you. I don't think you can do this. You're going to hurt me a lot. Hell, you already have. But I'll get through it in the end. Other people experienced this and became happy. I'll find a way. She groaned slightly in frustration. I don't want a divorce, Dex. Can't you just let me do one thing? Can't you just let me deal with this? Put it out of my mind and forgive me. I have no idea, I said. I don't think so, but I might surprise myself. I don't think I have it in me. I could forgive Kathleen, whom I married and fell in love with, almost everything. You could forgive some kind of compromising situation, flirting with a coworker. Maybe you were drunk, there was a party, everyone was having fun, and you just got carried away by the moment. It would be difficult, but I could forgive something like that. People make mistakes. I make mistakes, and you forgive me. You make mistakes, and I forgive you. There's something different here. This is a deliberate, calculated plan of betrayal and treason. I could forgive Kat, the one who loved me but made a mistake. You know Kat from 6 months ago. I'm so desperately in love with her that it makes me shake inside. I doubt I can forgive what you've already done. Now this seems unlikely. You are a person I barely know. She got up with difficulty and ran into the hut in tears. I felt pretty comfortable and just closed my eyes and relaxed. Eventually I fell asleep, and when I woke up, it was dark. Lights could be seen on the other side of the lake, and 50 meters from the hut there was a boat on which they were fishing. I looked around. Kat was sitting in a chair about 1.5 meters away from me. She was covered with a blanket and cried while watching me. She noticed that I was awake. "Dexter, I'm still the same person I was 6 months ago," she said. "How can you say that I have changed and you don't love me?" "I never said that," I told her. "If you are the same person you were 6 months ago, then I never knew you, Kathleen. Tell me, 6 months ago, were you thinking about having sex with someone other than me?" "No, of course not," she said. "I love you with all my heart, Dex." "That's it," I said. "You have changed." "Dex, if you'll just listen to me, we can get through this," she said. "Okay, speak up, I'm listening," I said. "I've never had sex with anyone but you," she said. "I never even wanted this. You were always everything I wanted or needed. I love being your wife. I love being a mother to girls. I like everything in our life. I just can't help but think about what it would be like. I wonder what it would be like to make love to someone else. If you let me, it would all be over. My questions would have been answered. I wouldn't have this feeling that constantly gnaws at me. Everything would be over. Do you believe that I love you, Dex?" "No, I don't think I believe it," I said. This caused a new attack of sobs and tears. "How can you say that?" she shouted. "I love you, Dexter. I love you more than anything in the world. I thought I could talk to you about this and we could work through it together. Would you rather I just kept this from you? I was honest with you and admitted it. Isn't this important to you?" I said nothing. The silence stretched on endlessly, broken only by her sniffling. I was wondering. Finally, I was ready. "Okay," I said. "Yes, it matters that you came to me with this. If you had hidden it, we wouldn't have had a chance. You should have been honest with me from the beginning. You talked to me and I give you credit. I'll give you an example. Let me ask you something. Suppose I tell you that I love Mia and Kia with all my heart. Our little neighbor, Melinda, lives across the street. You believe that I love our girls, and then 10 years later you discover that I have a secret room in the basement. You will find out that I allow Melinda to come over and we torture Mia and Kaya in the basement room. I tell you that I love them and that the torture will only last 2 weeks. After this, Melinda will leave and the torture will end. Would you think that I love them?" "This is funny," she hissed. "They don't torture those they love." "You're torturing me," I told her. "There's no waterboard, no rack, no screws to screw in, but that's what you do. You can make it all look nice if you want, but you are mentally torturing the one you say you love. If this is your idea of love, I would never want you to hate me." "I'm not trying to torture you," she practically shouted. "Do you think this is not torture for me? I thought I could talk to you about this. I thought you would help me instead of trying to make me feel guilty. Don't you feel that I feel bad enough without all this?" "What exactly did you expect me to hear or do, Kat?" I asked. "You tell me what you want from me. Then I'll tell you if I can do it." "I expected you to understand and support me," she said. "Dex, if you loved me the way I love you, you would be patient and loving instead of harsh and judgmental. Don't you understand? I need to explore my feelings. If you truly loved me, you would support me while I figure this out, knowing that my love will bring me back to you. If I really love you, do you doubt that I will return to you? Why can't you just support me and let me deal with my feelings?" "What are you even talking about?" I asked. "Are you asking me to sit and wait for you while you go and have sex with some idiot? Should I support you on this?" Should I understand this? Where did you get this idea? This sounds like some 1960s pop psychology. Are you some kind of hipster psychologist now? Sandra and I went to class, she said defensively. The instructor says very insightful things. Sandra? I almost exploded. Is this Sandra who was married 4 times? Is this Sandra who lives in some crummy apartment and never sees or talks to anyone from her family because they disowned her for being a slut? Is she your hero now, Kat? No wonder you're in such a mess. I'm screwed because my husband is an asshole, she replied. I took a deep breath and pulled myself together before I said something I would later regret. This is what will happen, Kat. I'm giving you this weekend to pull yourself together. As far as I know, you haven't done anything irreversible yet. When we get home, the countdown will begin. You have a week to decide if you want to be married to me. If you talk to Derek Harper, you better tell him to go to hell. If you meet him for lunch, we're done. If you meet him for drinks, we're done. If you see him outside of work, we're done. You activate GPS on your phone. If I see you where you shouldn't be, it's over between us. If you're going to work late, you better call me and tell me why and who you're working with. If Derek Harper is there, you won't be there. You tell your boss that you won't work next to Derek Harper because he made sexual advances towards you. The last thing you'll do is call Sandra, do it in front of me, and tell her you don't want to see or talk to her ever again. You'll do it before we leave here this weekend. When we get home, you will find a marriage counselor and a personal counselor, and we will go to the marriage counselor together. You will go to a personal consultant alone. Any failure to comply with any of these points, and everything is over between us. I will help you and support you in everything you do to try to save our marriage. I will not help or support any of your attempts to destroy it. You should go and think about all this. If you don't want to do this, none of this, you just have to say one word. This word is no. She looked at me as if I had grown another head. I didn't give her a chance to speak. I just stood up and walked into the house, leaving her there on the porch. When I got out of the shower, she was still there. I went to bed and, surprisingly, fell asleep quickly. I don't know when she came to bed, but I woke up with her pressed against my back. She was clearly naked. "Yes, Dexter," she whispered in my ear. "Yes, I want to stay married to you. I'm so sorry I put you through all this. I'll do whatever you ask." I thought for several hours, and I didn't sleep all night. I will do anything to stay married to you, and I won't do anything else so as not to risk losing you or our family. I don't even want to see Derek anymore. I don't know what came over me. I'll go to a psychologist. I will do whatever you ask me to do. Just tell me what you want. I told you I love you, and I mean it. I will never talk to him again. I turned to face her. That's good, Kat. I'm happy that you feel this way. This is the first step. From the very beginning, I was not glad that this happened. I think there's something wrong with you for even thinking something like that. I don't know why you do this, and I don't understand it. I think you should find out and try to fix the situation. Why do you think there's something wrong with me, Dexter? She asked. I'm not trying to argue or make you angry. Don't you know that many people have open marriages and are doing great? I don't know where you got this information from, I told her. It's a lie. I did a little research when I first learned about your little tendency. This is simply not true. Nobody really knows. I have no idea how many there are. Some people may be happy, but I know I won't be one of them. We all make choices. I know what I can live with and what I can't. For some people, this may work just fine. For me, no. I'm just telling you. I won't live like this. And I think that there are very few people who live like this. You are sure? She asked. Sarah and our instructor said that many people are in open relationships. Sarah and your instructor are complete crap, I told her. Actually, I don't care if everyone in the world has an open marriage. These are divorces that have not yet occurred. What are the chances that our marriage will be one of those that works? Not very good? She asked in a muffled voice. I'm not that kind of guy, I told her. I don't like humiliation. I don't like the feeling of jealousy. I hate the thought of my wife being with another man. This doesn't appeal to me at all. I don't feel desire at the thought of you with another man. It makes me sick. From what I've read, The only way such marriages survive, even for a short time, is if both partners are okay with it. I'm against it. I guess I never thought about it. She was crying now. Were you going to set me up with some hot woman, or was it just going to be you? I asked her. I understand, Dex, she said. Please don't keep beating me. I'm a stupid bitch. It was a stupid idea, and I'm sorry. I haven't thought it all through. I didn't have a plan, and the thought of you with someone else is killing me. I was not thinking about it. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. It hurts so much, Dexter, but thank you for doing what you had to do. If you let me do this, it would destroy us. It would destroy me. Now I know it. I could never look at myself in the mirror again, just like you said. If you just gave in, it would be a disaster. I'm not even sure I would respect you. I have a lot of work to do, don't I? It's okay. I was stupid enough to start this mess. I'll have to be smart enough to fix it. I think you can do it, Kat, I told her. You're quite a witty cookie. Sometimes you do stupid things, but so do I. I'm sorry I hit you over the head with a baseball bat, but it felt like the right thing to do. So it was, she said. Although I can't wait to hit you with one of them. You better watch out, big boy. For the first time in 4 weeks, I laughed. Well, I'm thinking about buying a motorcycle, so I guess you won't have to wait long. She smiled and then sighed. I need to make some phone calls, she said. I better start. Dex, when I get back, I'm going to make love to you and love you long, tenderly, passionately, until I'm unconscious. You better be ready. 4 hours later, I decided that unconsciousness was a rather pleasant place to be. Sometimes such interludes happen in life. It's like a nightmare. Sometimes you wake up and the nightmare is real. Sometimes you just wake up, and you breathe a sigh of relief. You lay there sweating and thank your lucky stars that you woke up. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one. Listening to the next one.